It's El Nina, I believe.
I think it's La Nina.
Sure. I'm not Latin.
Yeah. I think that Spanish, the laws all end in an A, and the
I was just
L's
kidding.
all end in an O.
Yeah.
I think.
No, they do for sure.
Not having taken Spanish, only taking French.
Not if we want to dive in, but there's no X either going on there.
Yeah, that's a weird one. I freely admit that that's a weird one. Like, I understand where the impulse comes from, but it kind of mostly comes from white people.
No, well, it's not your language.
Yeah.
Now you're changing other people's
Yeah,
language.
you're changing other people's language.
That's a little different.
To try to get, yeah. No, I agree.
I forgot what the term was. God, we probably shouldn't dive in because I'm not that educated. But there's something like a they that is not super object-based in Spanish.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
So a neutral...
Like a neutral it. But it's not like that. Because you say it here, and now you're pretty demeaning.
Yeah, it's super demeaning.
But I'm pretty sure there's a pronoun there that is not there.
Yeah. Like you can... It is so loaded that it is difficult to call a dog or a cat or something like that.
Someone will get mad.
Even though they really are, they're its. I mean, that's...
Someone will get mad. Yeah, it's shitting all over the house. I don't find that offensive.
Yeah. But most people, well, I don't know, a lot of people, big pet lovers are going to say...
These motherfuckers are just offended by everything.
Well, I think that's true, too.
We were in Texas, and we ended up seeing a comedy show. Nadeem is helping one of Rogan's crew lose some weight and stuff. David Lucas, who's incredibly talented and funny. So we ended up going to the show, and I think partially for IP stuff, partially for wanting people to be present.
Yeah.
And then also the type of jokes I think they're trying to throw around. They take your phone and they lock it up.
Yeah, that's getting pretty common.
Yeah. I loved it. And half their 40% of everyone's set probably couldn't make it to a Netflix or something, Netflix would probably push back pretty hard. But it was funny, and everyone's laughing, and if everyone's there to laugh, I was about it. But there's a lot of risque things that I haven't heard in a long time because all the comedy I consume is on Netflix, which is obviously insanely commercial now. And
Netflix just ate Comedy Central's lunch in terms of comedy specials.
Yeah, I don't even know what's going on in Comedy Central. All those channels,
almost nothing.
Yeah, all those channels are busted. MTV is just like Rob Dyrdek on repeat. Comedy Central is just like, I don't even know, but whatever show just on repeat.
One of the I can't remember which one it is. The streaming with commercials platform that's owned by Paramount that isn't Paramount Plus.
Yeah.
They have a channel that is all old MTV and it's all music videos. So if you want to watch old music videos with commercials.
Yeah. Well, I don't know about with commercials, but I thought about something like that even in the gym would be cool. Like maybe not on the gym floor, but on like the cardio side or somewhere, and you're just playing. Like my ultimate idea would be if you could match the music video to the song playing and you have it projected on a wall.
I'm tickled by that idea. I will say I don't know
how
answer to that. But
I don't either, and I don't know if it's worth the effort to figure out how you lock that all in.
It may not be,
but the general idea I think is kind of cool. But music videos are still a big thing. I didn't really know that, and I don't really know how they do. They're probably just YouTube based, but even those comedy specials now, because the comedians want to say what they want to say and not play the political game, are just releasing their shit. Because I think you can do a mini paywall on YouTube now.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, so I think they're just releasing it on there for $5.99 or whatever on their own, pocketing more cash potentially, and then be able to put the show out like they want, like self-produced, kind of like the indie rapper take, Like if the labels only want you to do this type of music, but you're a creative and you think you actually can do something different and make it succeed, fuck these labels. You really don't need them anymore with the internet.
Yeah,
you can do whatever the hell you want.
So I didn't realize you'd gone to a comedy show. I know you'd spent essentially a week in Texas, yeah?
Yeah, 6 days, something like that. I don't even remember.
You and Seabass and for a while Avi.
Right? Yeah, we did a little Austin. Shout out the boys at Game Day. Visited that a little bit, filmed a little bit. And then Houston, Texas for the Corrupted Classic, which is Russ Swole's teams meet. Yeah, there's a lot of fitness going on in Texas, man. There's a lot of stuff.
I've always kind of had the question about how it came to be called Corrupted, because in my mind that has a couple of connotations. None of them are good. So,
yeah, I don't know. I know there's a rapper named Corrupt. I don't know. Yeah, I think it's just like an edgy name, Corrupted Strength. Yeah, I don't know. A lot of times I automatically hear something. A lot of our friends are good at marketing.
yeah.
And a lot of people in the industry are good at marketing. So by the time I hear the name or I think about it, it's already all I think about is now Russ in the gym. You know what I mean? You don't think about. I don't think about the word.
I think about files, and then I think about politicians. Those are my two.
Yeah, true. Yeah, I don't. I don't even think about it as a word. I just think about it as the gym there. Corrupted Strength.
It's just it's just a name. I mean,
yeah. That's the truth of all business. I think we talked about it in one of the 10-minute podcast episodes on Fridays, where like the gears matter way more than what you think. Like you think about the frosting of the cake, and that's the name and the logo, and all that matters so much less than the actual gears going on. If they got the equipment, the vibe in the gym, the good members, the rest of it doesn't even matter.
Yeah. When I think about the process that we went through with branding this gym, and how like kind of everything that we liked and has ended up being part of the branding, you know.
Yeah, and I think it's always ever evolving for every company. Like Nike did Just Do It like crazy in the 90s, and then they went away, and now it's just check marks in the early 2000s, and now Just Do It and a bunch of other stuff comes back.
Yeah,
things always kind of go in waves. Yeah, I don't know where Corrupted Strength came from. I do not know. It was a cool spot. So we trained there a couple times. Went to Alpha Land, which I think like some people on the internet probably be like, man, Alpha Land's like overrated. Every TikToker's there. But that place is a masterpiece.
Really?
Yeah, Guzman went crazy. And he's doing things different. That's what the first thing I was talking with Bart about. I was like, dude, like, whether you like this gym or this is your vibe or you hate TikTok, like Guzman created something that's never been created before.
Really?
Ever. Yeah, from like you walk in and it looks like a luxurious hotel's lobby with stores and boutiques all through it.
Holy crap.
He has some machine that's like this pyramid. Let's say it's like 4 feet cube, and within it has a fucking Obi-Wan Kenobi, we need your help, Leia, graphic 3D image in there of his clothes.
Oh my god!
And it literally is that. I'm like, what the fuck is this? Like the craziest thing I've ever seen. I don't know why I was probably too in awe. I didn't take a picture of it. Seabass might have video of it, but it's literally the size of this table into a pyramid, projecting a 3D image of clothing.
Crazy.
Yes, crazy. And then the gyms itself are perfect. They have one that's kind of AC and more of a, I would say a commercial gym, but it's not, because he has a bunch of really good equipment, a bunch of like hammer strength stuff, but it has more of that vibe where you're indoors and it feels more isolated or more insulated. And then you go through a hall and now you're outside and it feels like a Texas, Metroflex gym.
Okay.
Same equipment, not same equipment, but you can have everything. Everything's in both.
Wow.
So you have like preacher curls and shit in both, squat racks in both, whatever, cardio in both. And then the other one's just like a huge, barn style gym, which I loved. Basketball courts, soccer field. Yeah, it was crazy. It was crazy. A full restaurant inside. Bathrooms are all luxurious. Yeah, it was a really good mix. So it makes sense a lot of people kind of move there. I think people probably move there for the clout, but I honestly think people may stay there because it is just cool. It's nice. I don't know what it costs to go there, but
that's a good question.
Yeah, I think a day pass was normal-ish price. 15, 25. I don't know. Texas is all right. I think the older I get, and I've said this for a long time, I could just kind of live anywhere because I just don't do much. If you have like pretty good food, you have good internet, I have a nice house, and I'm safe. You know what I mean? Some people are like, oh, I have to live in because I have to live in Sacramento because I ski.
Right.
So I got to go to Tahoe, all winter. But like, I don't do anything like that.
I just like Sacramento.
I do too. I do.
And there are other places I could probably live, but I can afford to live here and go there more than I could afford to live there.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, like Hawaii or something, but I don't even know what it would like to be live there. I like the change of seasons, which we have pretty good.
Yeah, they don't have a whole lot that there.
I heard Texas got cold as soon as I left, but when we were there, it was like 75 and swampy as shit.
Oh, yeah.
Which I don't mind working out in. I actually felt good.
Yeah.
But like walking around all day, you're all swamped up.
Yeah. I mean, I could probably go spend a month in New York, and that's, but I don't think I could like live there. Just because it's fucking expensive compared to, lifestyle here.
Yeah.
Although this has become a fairly expensive place to live. And then, I fucking love London, and I could just go there I'm going to go to Europe for a month, but I'm not going to spend the whole time in London.
Yeah, a lot of it, I guess, is just money. Because we were just in a group chat. Nadeem sent us a house. I don't even know where. Somewhere in Texas, and it's a literal mansion for $350K.
Jesus Christ.
Literal mansion.
Yeah.
Insane architecture, 4,000 square foot.
Will not buy a one-bedroom in my neighborhood.
Yeah, no, you can't buy anything in Sac.
Yeah.
300,000? I don't know. You can't buy a condo downtown.
No.
Yeah, you can't buy anything. I think a condo, the cheapest condo I've seen is about $550.
If they had condos in like North Highlands and Sac.
Yeah, in the burbs. Yeah, you might be able to get a house somewhere in South Sac. But even then, it might need work with 300.
Yeah.
It is like everyone's kind of getting elevated in pricing and stuff, but certain cities are just going crazy. You go to Cleveland, Ohio, or Detroit, you buy a house for $80K still, but there's nowhere in California you're doing that. Nowhere even on the West Coast.
Yeah.
Even the boonies of Oregon, I imagine, are going to be more expensive than that.
Yeah, I think that's true. I think that is true for sure. But I don't know. I mean, I was in Texas earlier this year. I liked it well enough in Austin. I was fine. I've been to Texas before. I didn't do the gym thing in Texas because I typically just try not to work out when I'm on vacation. And I'm really kind of easing myself back into lifting again after spending a long time not lifting much. And I'm really like, I decided the first month I'm literally going to try to get better cardiovascular shape, like period.
Get a little foundation
so I can tolerate it. Yeah, and then just sort of start adding things in a few times a week, different body parts, different exercises, whatever. I got on the belt squat yesterday. It felt pretty good. Didn't die. Didn't blow out my knee.
Yeah. Good day one.
Yeah. Just slowly but surely back into it. And I think that maybe that's part of the problem for some people is that they feel like they have to go balls in on everything all the time.
Yeah. But no habit's created that way.
Yeah.
Yeah. No good habit, that is.
Yeah. And it has to be a good experience. Like every time basically has to be, even if you don't, like you might not be super motivated to do it, but if it's a good experience with it, you're more likely to stick with it.
Yeah. Well, it's a little life coachy and all the shit I talk shit on, but it is true. Like if you quit once, you can quit again.
Yeah.
So like if you like,
I love that. Yeah. So if you quit once, you can absolutely quit again.
It's just way easier. So like you have to set yourself up so you don't quit.
Yeah.
So instead of saying like, all right, I'm going to start working out, I'm going to go 6 days a week, double days. You're going to miss one. That's quitting. Or quitting's extreme, but you know what I mean. So just say, okay, I'm going to go twice a week. And just don't fucking miss twice a week. Yeah. And then do that for 6 weeks, and then you could easily add a third day because now you're locked in.
Right.
But you got to set yourself up that way where you're right. Everyone goes like 0 to 100. It's like, oh, I'm going to go for anything, diet. I've been eating McDonald's every day, and now I'm going to track my macros and eat chicken breast. Like, no, you're not. You're going to fail.
Yeah.
You're literally setting yourself up for failure.
Speaking of eating the same thing every day, I don't know if I got it. Hold on. It's on my phone. It's not showing up on here. There's a dude that ate, it's on Vice's Instagram.
Is it McDonald's guy? Big Mac guy?
No.
There was a Big Mac guy for a second.
This guy did rotisserie chicken every day for 40 days.
I don't know if the quality in rotisserie chickens have gone down or what, but I remember getting them in like high school out of like a regular grocery store, like our Rayleigh's or whatever, which is our nicer-ish, right?
Yeah.
Like they're not
bad. They're above
good.
average.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah, it's not luxury, but it's not
Whole
trash.
Foods, but it's
And even now, right? You might even compare them because Whole Foods is a little different than it used to be. But long story short, now I'll get a rotisserie chicken. I feel like I'm eating the pink goo from McDonald's.
Oh,
they just always feel wet and like salty and like full of water. They just always taste weird.
Because they've probably been brined within an inch of their
maybe
lives before they're cooked.
Yeah, and it's probably been rotised for fucking 3 days rather than just a day.
Yeah. This guy, he said, his name is Alexander Tominsky. He is a server, a waiter in Philadelphia.
You know, another thing about Texas, 2 things. One pisses me, both piss me off actually. One is, how is their food, their meat and their veggies that I know they're probably getting from us, fucking cheaper? That blew my mind.
That's a good question. I don't know the answer.
You know what I mean?
I didn't notice that at all, by the way. So
really, yeah. When we went to the grocery store a couple times, obviously to cook and save a little bit of money. We were just Airbnb-ing it. It was cheaper for sure. Not like drastic, but I could tell. You know, like little things. Like I kind of bought the same shit I would buy here, and it was like $30 cheaper. You know, like a little bit of meat, a little bit of yogurt, kind of basic shit.
Yeah,
some fruits, some berries, and then two. And maybe this is I don't think so, because I lived in the suburbs here too. Their grocery stores are way better than ours.
I think I talked about the one that we went to in Austin, sort of North Austin.
Yeah.
Out in the...
Was it at H-E-B? Because even H-E-B's shit on every store we have here.
No, this was another one. Speaking of Whole Foods, the original Whole Foods is
cool.
Downtown.
Yeah, that's cool.
But I can't remember the name of this one, but it was massive.
Yeah.
It was huge.
I wonder if it was an H-E-B. H-E-B felt like a really nice Winco.
Yeah.
I don't know if y'all have Winco. Like our Wincos are kind of weird.
Yeah.
But they're big and they're like semi-bulk, you know, but not. The H-E-B felt like it was huge. And they had a bunch of like, there were metal tins. Mm-hmm. Like think of a ready-made, what are they even called? Like a microwave dinner? Like a frozen dinner, you know, that you do for yourself. It felt like a fresh version of that. It would come in a metal tin. It was only of that day. And you can just throw it in the oven for 10 minutes. It's ready to rock.
Yeah, there's a lot of like grab and go.
Yeah,
kind of
but it was like quality,
stuff.
like new. This wasn't frozen. This was fresh.
Oh, okay.
So they must have just made it that day, and they had a whole section. You could get Spanish food, Italian food, meat and rice. I was like, dude. And obviously, in where I live in particular in Sac, there's no grocery store. Like literally, there's one, and it's a piece of shit.
Yeah.
So and I just the amount of like drinks they had and different coffees and shit, like 30 yogurts. I love that bullshit.
See, I see H-E-B in here. That's not the one I went to.
H-E-B was rad. Even their gas stations. I think I've talked about it here. I've talked about it on my vlogs for sure. I love like gas stations because I love like looking at the new protein bars and chips and shit. Yeah. I just love that.
They always get the weird shit there that you can't get anywhere else.
And way better and way cleaner. Our gas stations are always fucking sketchy.
Yeah. Central Market's the one I'm talking about. There are a number of them.
Yeah, their stuff's shitted on ours.
Yeah, no, it was like one of the coolest. Like, I think I talked about. Have you ever been out to the big international grocery out in Rancho? Yeah. So it's like that.
Yeah.
We just got to go from space to space to space.
How do we not have more of that here?
I don't know. That's a really good question.
And why do our regular grocery stores, I guess like our Safeway or Save Mart or something, are literal trash?
I think that part of it is, this is going to sound anti-capitalistic, but I think it's true. I think that we've had so much consolidation that it kind of eliminates competition. When you don't have competition, and there's no reason to have something nicer, and so you just deal with the
true. But you think H-E-B would just move west and crush people?
Yeah, I don't know who owns H-E-B.
I don't either, but I doubt it's Safeway.
No, it's probably not. But like Safeway,
like H-E-B, literally, it's like, I don't know, a comparison to not insult people out there, but it's like, you know, it's like a fucking Bentley versus a Hyundai. Like it felt insane difference from our grocery stores.
You've been to Nob Hill here, yeah?
Yeah, I think so.
Nob Hills are pretty nice.
Yeah, those are like Rayleigh's upper echelon. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Those are nice.
Yeah.
Even Whole Foods isn't what it used to be. Supposedly, we don't even have one of them down here. We ain't got shit. Our little local stuff's okay, but even that, like our co-op or whatever.
Co-op's pretty good.
But that's fucking expensive.
It's typically very expensive unless you're a member, and even then.
Yeah, and then you're not getting like everything. Like, why can't I get organic broccoli and a Diet Coke somewhere?
Oh yeah, because you can't get a Diet Coke there.
No, that's what I'm saying.
I'm sure that it's probably because they don't want to make deals with those distributors,
right? And they're on this organic, hippie tip.
I bet it's more one than the other, though.
Maybe. Yeah, business always kind of runs things, but I feel like that's not too much to ask. I'm just trying to get like healthy-ish meat and a Diet Coke.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're right. They probably don't want to do business with a big company like that. Maybe they can't meet the MOQs. But either way, it's just all kind of annoying to me.
I'm trying to find out who owns H-E-B.
It might be their own shit. What's the other one? Wegmans or something?
The Butt family. Literally, the extended Butt family owns approximately 90% of the San Antonio-based H-E-B, which Forbes currently values H-E-B
Mr. Butt
at just over $17 billion.
Yeah, just move out here then.
The rest is owned by employees through an ownership program the company created in 2015. So 4 billionaires behind H-E-B.
All right, move west, teams.
Yeah, I mean, Southern California has some better options sometimes, but like Kroger is about to buy Safeway here.
I've heard Kroger's okay.
Kroger's okay, but
Safeway. Kroger is in Oregon or no? I think so.
Yeah, Oregon, Washington. I think. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Kroger's everywhere, right? I think they might even be Texas.
Possibly. Yeah. We just don't have very many of them in California yet.
That even blew my mind. Just visiting family as a kid in Cleveland, I was like, dude, you guys don't even have the same grocery stores. They have a Giant Eagle. It's one of their main ones, and I was like, that's weird. As a kid, I didn't understand it. I still don't really understand it.
Yeah, there's some big ones in Canada, but I've never been thrilled by a grocery store in Canada, to be honest, because it's hard to get. I mean, it's hard to get some of the kinds of stuff that we're used to here. Some of the produce, meat, poultry, all that kind of stuff. It's cheese though. You can get some fucking amazing cheeses up there. You can.
Interesting. And I know it's taxes and shit, but it doesn't make sense that our food's the most expensive. Like, obviously, Hawaii is probably more or something, but...
Yeah, I mean, that's why, like, we get a lot of most of our produce and stuff at farmers markets.
Yeah.
You know, and that's a whole...
Yeah, direct to source.
It's a whole commitment to go do that, but, you know, if you're going to go to the grocery store, could just easily go to the farmers market.
It's true.
Anyway, let's take a little break, then I want to talk about I would say, timely seasonal topic. I'm in this group on Facebook. I don't know, it's not like a secret group or whatever, but it's something that Jay Ashman started. It's just like guys talking to other guys about shit that guys are dealing with, bugged by, whatever. And more than one person has talked about how they just fucking hate this time of year.
Yeah, the holidays. It's crazy. I didn't know we're a week out from Thanksgiving already.
Right. Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it's wild.
It's coming up fast.
That's wild.
And like growing up with in a family where there was a kind of a lot of emphasis put on the holidays, particularly like my dad's extended family. That was and he was like a big proponent of that. But he also,
because they liked it.
I don't know if they liked it or not. They didn't fucking get along very well most of the other time.
Yeah,
so
that's what everyone says with big family shit.
Yeah, they didn't, and it ended up ultimately being that we would do like 3 Christmases because you couldn't get everybody into one place. And Dad was like, he was kind of like a family peacekeeper and stuff. So we would go all over the place. Eventually, I get to be a teenager or whatever. We stopped doing that shit. So, and a couple uncles died off, and those parts of the family
spread a little bit,
drifted further away, and one thing or another. But like my dad also had, he always had the winter blues, like like a seasonal affective disorder.
Do you think that's maybe why he tried to go so hard on the holidays, cheer himself up, maybe?
I think that's a real possibility, yeah. And he would probably never admit to it, but it was just so obvious that he would,
I do wonder if that will play I don't know, because it's obviously the internet just gives more information now, but I wonder if more people move equator style. Because, Texas gets a winter, but it ain't the same.
No.
And even here, it's obviously not that bad. We get a little gloom. Yeah. And it's been cold as shit. That's why I brought up El Nino.
Yeah.
It's just been fucking cold.
Yeah, it's been pretty cold. I realized it's not so cold back here right now, but I'm looking at the heater right now, and it looks like it's on, so that probably has something to do with it.
Yeah, maybe that too. Yeah. But even just I feel like it doesn't get this cold till Jan normally for us.
Yeah, no, I think that's typically true.
That's 40s, 50s. For those that don't know, California is quite large. I don't know why that's a pet peeve. A lot of things don't piss me off, but it pisses me off when people think I think it pisses me off because people think they know. Yeah. But California's so fucking big. We're half an hour away, 45 minutes away from snow.
Yeah.
We're 45 minutes away from ocean.
Yeah.
And we get to 100 and fucking whatever degrees.
Right.
But then you go to San Diego, very far from snow. It's going to be 80 all year round. It's just so varied here. You go north, you go towards Shasta, and then it's cold all fucking year. It's just so different, and people don't know. So when I say because I think it's I'll do YouTube videos in a beanie or something, and people start talking California kid, huh? Shut the fuck up. It's 35 degrees.
It's cold.
Yeah, it's cold. 35 degrees when I used to come to the gym.
Yeah,
that's cold. That's cold. I don't care where you're from. 35 is cold.
It was 37 this morning.
Yeah, that's cold. I don't care if you're from Detroit. If you're from North Pole, 35 degrees is cold.
I don't care where you're from anyway, but yeah.
I don't know why that's a pet peeve of mine.
No, and it's like, I have a friend who lives in California, so and so. It's like there are, how many million people live in California? I can't help you. I'm sorry.
Maybe Sacramento because we're pretty small, but other than that, California's giant.
And everybody thinks that we're at the beach all the time or in the mountains all the time or whatever, and that's not really true either. I mean, living near the beach is the most expensive thing you can do in California.
Well, and even that, like, our beaches aren't that nice if you ask me. I love our Monterey, Carmel type beach, but it's not what you're swimming in. And then even San Diego, like, nah. If I'm going to beach, I need like a Hawaii, Mexico, warm water deal. San Diego's okay.
Yeah, some of the southern eastern seaboard Atlantic cities have warm water.
Yeah, it gets there. Yeah, even Florida's a little better off than we are. It's just way more south. Yeah, people don't realize that.
Yeah, for sure. Our maps are distorted.
No, I think, don't quote me on this, but I think if you go direct east from us, you hit like fucking Cleveland and shit. Where people think if you go direct east from us, you hit like Florida.
Yeah,
but we're like highly tilted.
Yeah. No, for sure. Our climate is kind of similar to like northern Italy, honestly.
Yeah, probably.
In that zone. So anyway, I started thinking about this morning. I actually, before I was fully awake, thinking about what are we going to talk about today, and thinking about that group of people complaining about whatever. I think that part of the thing that about the holidays is that they're almost always disappointing versus what you see on TV or what you see now on social media or whatever. Everybody's doing something really fucking cool.
Yeah.
And everybody's appears to be getting along or whatever. And if your family is not like that, or you don't really have anybody that you're having holidays with, it's tough. I mean, that expectation game is difficult.
Yeah, I don't know. I've talked with a lot of friends on this, and people always like throw me a pity sorry when they're like, oh, what are you doing for holidays? I'm like, oh, I don't really do much. Like, I just kind of hang out with my mom. I don't really have like family. And they're like, oh, I'm so sorry. I'm like, no, I'm sorry for you. Like, you got to go drink wine with people you don't like.
Yeah.
Like, me and my mom get along great. She's just gonna make me cookies, and I'm gonna play with my dog. Like, I'm cool. Like, you know what I mean? And it's kind of always been that way. Like, it's kind of a little sad, like without having dad around. Because my holidays were small growing up too. It was just the four of us, my sister, my mom, and my dad. So that sucks a little bit, obviously, and like reminders of things. Like, my dad sounds like a little bit like yours. Like, he was really into the holidays, but I think he was genuinely into them. I don't think he got the blues, maybe, but he liked giving, and he liked holiday spirit, and he liked like fucking around. So he liked decorating the tree, and he'd blast fucking shitty Christmas music. He just kind of about that. And so, like, all holidays growing up were always super cool. So I miss a little bit of that, obviously. But, it sounds way weird. I don't want to run around. All my friends did what you did. They have, like, huge families. So they're doing, like, Christmas morning here, Christmas night there, and then Christmas Eve here. I don't want to do that. I do it all just at my mom's house. I don't know. Yeah, I don't pity myself at all. I like it because then I actually get to relax. Like, it's actually a day of just, like, good food. Sometimes we don't even do gifts. Sometimes we do gifts, and then we'll just like watch shitty fucking Home Alone movies and shit. I love that.
Yeah, we have kind of tried to downplay gifts because it was just getting stupid. And so much effort goes into buying things, and like family members, you know them, but you don't know them.
Yeah, especially extended.
Yeah, and you're just it turns into a box checking exercise.
Yeah, I understand why people do the white elephant deal or whatever.
Yeah,
because then it's just kind of fun, and you're doing one gift.
Yeah, those get funky too. I don't remember what the rules are this year for Christmas. I'm turning to Sam. He doesn't remember either. We change rules every few years about
dollar amount.
Or about what kind of thing. And I mean, it's turned into the last couple. You're supposed to be like one gift, and it's it's like male or female or whatever, and then you choose your the wrapped gift for yourself, and we use a different algorithm every year for who gets to choose first. It's often age or whatever.
Yeah. When you have kids in the equation, I feel like holidays can be fun.
Yeah.
Like, I did Halloween, not this year, but year before with Bar, Gio, and Taika, and that's way more fun because he's fucking stoked.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to dinner at, like, a nice Italian place, and he still wants to wear a Spider-Man outfit. Like, that feels holiday to me and cool.
Yeah.
But, otherwise, it's just not really.
Yeah, I mean, but on the flip side of that, though, like if you walk out of Christmas and you didn't really get any kind of meaningful gift at all from anybody, that sucks too.
It can. I've never been like a big gift person for some reason.
I'm not a big gift person either, but like, if you see cool gifts being given, and you don't get anything, which honestly has happened to me any number of times, over the years. you start to feel like, well, fuck this holiday.
Yeah.
Like,
I think that's like big family stuff too.
yeah, back to expectation versus reality. It's like, So I looked at a couple different articles, and actually this is the one I think that adds the most value to the equation. This is really this is from Mayo Clinic. I thought it was from somewhere else, but it's Mayo Clinic. I think that item number one on this list is acknowledging your feelings. If somebody close to you died recently, or you can't be with your family and loved ones or friends or whatever, it's okay to just be honest about that.
Yeah.
Just like with yourself and with everyone else, and say, this is a holiday, but I'm not going to feel that great, because that's just how it is.
Yeah.
And if your expectation low, sometimes you feel better. I don't know. The year that the first Thanksgiving that both of my parents were gone, because I lost them within a year, like, I stayed home at Thanksgiving by myself. I needed to be by myself because I couldn't talk about it. That was the worst of it.
Right, or like fake be happy.
Yeah, I couldn't fake be happy, and I couldn't talk to anybody about it because it feels very performative.
Yeah.
That people ask, even though it's probably legitimate, but
yeah. But yeah, what are you supposed to say?
Well, yeah, what can you say?
Yeah, when people still say like sorry, I'm like,
yeah, but you didn't. Yeah, you didn't do it. It's not that kind of. It's
right.
not really.
Well, it's gonna happen to you, but that's what I want to say. Like, well, you're gonna lose someone you love too, motherfucker.
when somebody loses a parent, because it, both of us have lost parents. When somebody loses a parent, I will say, sucks. Been there.
Yeah.
Because like okay, we're in this club now.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah, where we don't have a parent or either parent to backstop us anymore. I wasn't particularly reliant on my parents, but I do miss them.
Yeah, of course.
And
of course.
And going into holidays, like I said, my dad was very into the holidays, particularly Thanksgiving. That was kind of their big holiday. And their birthdays are in December and all this. And for years, this time of year was difficult for me.
Yeah.
And coming back to acknowledging it, I finally realized, like, I can't honor every single fucking anniversary that happens in this period of time, of anniversaries of their births, of their deaths. My mom died the day after Christmas. I can't do that.
Yeah. It's a lot to remember, and then it's a lot of pressure, and then it's like fucking emotionally draining.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've never really done a lot of those. Like, I'll do a little thing by myself maybe, but yeah, it's a lot.
Yeah, it's like I can't put that much thought and weight into it because it weighs everything else down.
Yeah. Well, and that's like if you celebrate like every homie's birthday. Like, dude, I know 100 people. I can't fucking do all their birthdays.
Right.
Yeah, we're going to eat cake every day of the year?
Yeah. Well, only if you're into cake. I'd be into pie, but I could probably eat pie every day. Push came to shove.
That's why I like Thanksgiving. You just do a little bit of both. A little bit of chocolate sitting around for no reason. Eat that too.
Yeah. Number 2 on this list was reaching out. If you feel lonely, isolated, seek out community. Religious, I don't know if that's really going to make anybody feel better, but sometimes it does. Other social events or communities. Many have websites.
Friendsgiving became a big thing, I feel like, when I started getting to college. Maybe it was a thing before that, and I just didn't know it because of the internet. But Friendsgiving seems like a really cool concept where, yeah, like people can't go home because of college. I think it probably started, right? They can't I can't. We only have Thursday off. I can't fly home. And so, we'll just do like a dinner here, a potluck. And then I think more people in their 30s, 40s, and 50s kept doing that because maybe they're married or not married, or maybe they don't have family close by or family at all. Seems like a cool concept.
Yeah, a lot of people use the term like chosen family.
Yeah.
People that you're not really related to, but that occupy those spaces in your life.
Yeah, we had more of that growing up. I feel like my family, either side, I don't know, was very well off, so they didn't travel a lot. And so we'd go to Cleveland here and there for Christmas, but not that often. Because then we had my mom's mom had dementia, so we couldn't really travel very easily.
Yeah.
And so she like change of environment for people with dementia
really hard.
Yeah. And so we'd mostly just stay home. But then my dad and mom's best friend, I just call him Uncle Joe. They're from the Bay Area. They would come up. And it was kind of like that. We'd do like New Year's with them or something. I kind of had more holidays like that than, or like my homies always would come over for Thanksgiving after like their family shit. They'd just come eat dessert, or we'd go to my buddy's Brad's afterwards. That became kind of a thing for a while because his mom's a caterer and made hella good food. So we'd
Nice.
we'd do like dinner with our families, and then we'd go get dessert at the homie's house. why do you got to go hang out with your like third cousin Karen when you fucking hate her? Like, I don't want to celebrate with somebody that makes me feel weird. Like, just go celebrate with people. I'd rather be alone, for one. And then two, I'd way rather just be with people that like put me in a good mood. Like, why are we wasting our holiday? And just
That's
for the sake
point.
of tradition?
Yeah, that's a fair point.
Yeah, fuck them. Like, who says? Who made the rule?
Well, that's the thing. There are a lot of rules around family and shit that are, that like baseball has unspoken rules. Like that's like the rule book for unspoken rules is larger than the actual rule book.
Yeah.
Families, it's same kind of thing, and like you're supposed to continue to have like responsibility for family members or whatever for fucking ever. And I just can't.
Yeah, I think it depends on how you grew up with them. Because, like, I do truly believe in loyalty despite people pissing me off. I do like that. And maybe it's easy for me to say because I just didn't grow up with that much family, so it doesn't affect me. But if you grow up with a cousin, forever, and they're just a bit of a shithead, yeah, man, show them some loyalty. But if they're just people you literally only talk to on Christmas.
Yeah. You're nuclear.
364 days a year you're not talking to them.
Yeah.
Then I'm probably just cutting them out. Sorry, we're not doing Christmas this year neither.
Yeah, your nuclear family is one thing. I think just mom, dad.
Yeah. Yeah. If you grew up with them.
Yeah, that's one thing. But some people still have to cut those people out of their lives too.
For sure. Yeah, I think it depends. Again, like how you grew up. Because some of my homies, my buddy Justin's like my best friend. Think about how he grew up. He grew up with his cousins, so they do like everything. The 4th of July, they'll do football games. They'll do all this stuff.
Kyle's like that too, right?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, he literally grew up on the same land as everybody.
Yeah.
And so like that part I get. Like, cool. Yeah. Then celebrate with them because you do hang out with them, and so you go through up and downs. I'm not saying like cut anybody out that you bump heads with because you're gonna bump heads with everyone, but just to say, oh, I have to see Karen, only on Christmas every year, and you don't like them, just fucking be an adult and say, hey, this year we're just going to do it this way, or I'm just going to do it with my grandma, or I'm just going to do it with Johnny.
Yeah.
Who gives a fuck? Why ruin your own day? Because chances are if you don't like them, they don't like you. And so they don't want to do it either, right? Like, I think it's rare that someone loves you and you hate them.
Yeah, it happens, but yeah.
Yeah, chances are you both rub each other a little wrong, so just go somewhere else. Fuck them.
I think actually that gets into, I'm jumping ahead a little bit, but there's a bullet point called setting aside differences. Like, try to accept family members and friends as they are. Yeah. Even if they don't live up to all your expectations. It's like, yeah, that's one thing. Like, but if you just fucking don't get along with them.
Or if they're loud, that's easy to do when someone's quiet.
Yeah.
If they're annoying and you hate this and that. If like the unspoken rule of not talking politics.
Yeah.
But Joey always brings up politics. Well, then what are you supposed to do? You can't set my differences aside when this motherfucker's talking politics the whole time.
Yeah. Yeah. You just, I mean, I don't know how to shut down those arguments or other than to say, I'm not talking about that and just disengage.
Yeah. But then, it's just all weird.
And I think that, like another thing that's sort of been a tradition in our family is having this kind of safe zone. Like, there's a place in the house that you can escape from everyone. You're still there, but you're like, don't have to directly interact with people.
Yeah. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, or you turn a movie on. So if you're in front of the TV, you're just kind of watching.
Or, a game. A lot of Thanksgiving games.
Yeah, that's good. 'Cause it's hard to really get fucked up there.
Yeah. And it's hard to have a conversation, especially if you keep turning it up. So, so people can't talk over the thing.
See, this is all the shit that I feel lucky. Whenever everyone, I'm telling you, my whole life has been like, oh, I'm so sorry you don't have like a big family. Like, no, bitch, I'm good. I'm really good. I'm good without a big ass family. And I do have a big family. Don't get me wrong. I have a large, beautiful family, but I just don't see them.
Yeah,
we're just not tight.
Not tight.
But they're great people. All of them. They are. I just don't see them. Yeah, it's not like we did every Christmas together. I've never done a consecutive Christmas with any family.
Really?
No.
That's crazy.
Yeah, just mom.
Huh.
Because Cleveland, then we didn't have like a ton of money even when I was a kid. So then like flying again, even with the dementia situation, flying 5 of us to Cleveland wasn't super cheap.
Right.
And then we're all staying at my aunt's house, and that's chaos as fuck. And then Argentina, my mom just texted me. Side note, she was looking up flights, and she's like, "Oh, it's like $1,300 to Argentina," which is like normal. But she tries to normally do like business or first class just because it's a 18-hour. She's like, it's $14,000.
What?
And I was like, I've never heard of that gap.
Oh my god.
Yeah, like $1,300 international big old flight. Okay, because same idea when people think about like Sacramento to where we're north and south versus the rest of the nation. Like Argentina's most west coast lines up with the most east coast of America. So not only are you going way fucking south, but you're flying way east from Sacramento.
Yeah.
And so I understand. Okay, 1,300, but 14 grand. God damn.
And for us, like, it's always cheaper to figure out. Well, not always. Often cheaper to figure out how to go out of San Francisco or Oakland or whatever, and not
for big flights.
Yeah, out of Sacramento, because like we have an airport.
Yeah,
it's a reasonable sized airport, but it's
international or whatever.
Yeah, but it's not. It's very expensive to go in and out here. What did I skip out? I skipped set aside difference. I mean, skipped 2 set aside difference. Be realistic, and that's something I was talking about earlier. I think your expectations can be awfully high for how things are going to go, and your expectations for what you can tolerate from whoever you're going to get together with too. Like, plan a visit that's short.
Yeah.
Talk to him on the phone or send him
leave
a
early.
text.
Yeah, leave early.
Yeah,
who gives a shit?
Like, act like you're overscheduled and you have to go somewhere else. And it's okay to lie in these circumstances.
Yeah, and it's okay to be straight up too.
Yeah.
And if they get weird about it, fuck them. Hey, you know, I want to spend some time alone on this holiday. Fuck them.
Yeah.
Who are they to judge you?
Yeah. I mean, particularly if you're working the kind of job where you just don't get much time off.
Yeah.
Like,
Spend some time alone.
Yeah.
Fuck it.
Yeah, exactly. You need let's face it, family gatherings can be work.
Yeah.
And you don't want, that's not another kind of work you want to do in that moment. Like, particularly if you have a very stressful job.
That's how I feel about all social interactions. Because, you know, and obviously I'm more of an introvert than other people. People are like, oh, I'm off work on Friday. I'm going to go do social things. I mean, that's just as draining for me.
I don't understand how the whole like bar industry is going to survive and stuff, because like the whole idea of like hanging out in a bar with a shit ton of people and getting shit faced is not something I can even. I mean, I'm getting old and I've done my share of it, but it's never been the thing I did all the time. I think it's just going to die off. I don't know.
I don't think so. I think that there's always 50% more of people that just love. I think they need to drown their thoughts. And this is me being a little bit of a elitist hater, but I think they need to drown their thoughts, and their only way to do that is be around other people. They can't be alone. And so what's the easiest place to do that? A bar.
Yeah.
It just always, alcohol makes it easy to talk to people. A bar is an easy excuse to meet someone.
Mm-hmm.
And you're just always, there's always going to be folks that want to drown their thoughts. Even when like VR and shit go crazy, people are always going to want it.
I think that the whole like metaverse thing is going to collapse in on itself, because I don't think that's how people really want to interact with each other. There's a limited number of people who want to do it that way. People want to interact in person.
I think based on the technology we have right now.
Yeah, I don't know how much better it's going to get.
Oh, it'll get better. Oh, it's going to go crazy. It might be hundreds of years.
It's going to be a long time before that's a.
But yeah, once because then you get into Matrix theory, obviously. But once it's closer to what reality is, then it would be hard to deny.
Maybe so. People can get past the uncanny valley aspect of it. Maybe.
Yeah, I think they will. Yeah, once more. They already have like these weird. I forgot who I was talking about, but they already have like basically sensors you can put anywhere on your body to move any part or feel any part.
Yeah.
You know, so you start to get some weird things going on.
Yeah.
Start to get a lap dance in the metaverse, and you feel it.
The only thing that makes me think this shit is actually like possible to even work is the fact that if you get one of like those robot dogs or whatever, like people interact with them like they're real. Especially the older they are, the more likely they are to.
Yeah.
And like, all right, if your brain can do that, if your brain is plastic enough to do that, it might work to do a VR whatever.
I still, just based on technology, because we can't think about it because we haven't experienced it. But if it hypothetically feels like reality, there's no reason not to, because then we can be with our family for 10 minutes and then bounce.
Yeah.
Right? Talking about the holidays. We could do Christmas dinner, and kind of the most dumbed down version happened during the pandemic. People are doing Zoom dinners or whatever. But imagine you're in the same room and it feels like the same room, except you can snap your finger and not be there.
Yeah. You can run to the bathroom and not be in the room.
Yeah. You're like, oh, I'm going to go take a shit, and then you just never come back. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
No, there's some benefits there for sure.
Yeah, I could see that. One of these, I don't know, is easy for me. It's probably easy for you too. Is sticking to a budget. I don't like go crazy buying gifts for people. I just don't.
Yeah, we again lucky to have a small family. We just never really did that. We would growing up a little bit more early 20s. We would do stuff for each other. So me and my dad would go shop for my sister and my mom or whatever, and we just kind of all do it together. But I don't know. I've said this many times, but I'm a lucky dude, man. I had a really good family, so like we never put a lot of pressure on gifts. Maybe as a kid I felt it, you know, like, oh, I hope my dad really gets me this bicycle or whatever. But I think every kid kind of feels that way, right? Like holidays are based around objects when you're fucking 8 years old. So I had that kind of normal, but beyond that, I don't know. I don't know how my parents did it. I probably should have paid more attention, but they never made it superficial. It was more about the dinner. It was more about going grocery shopping. It was more about what movies we're watching. Thanksgiving is more about throwing the football around in between football games at halftime and shit. Yeah, about the food for sure, which maybe is unhealthy in some instances, but you know what I mean. Like, I was lucky in that sense. So we never had to do a budget. We never did like a tit for tat. Like, oh damn, they bought my sister a $60 gift and mine's $40, or you know. Yeah, it just was never part of our culture, which I'm very lucky.
And I think that, like, in our families, everybody's well enough off that, like,
you can buy your own shit.
You can buy your own shit.
Yeah, that's what I feel like, even just as an adult, whether you're well off or not.
I would so much rather buy my own shit.
Yeah, if you really need something, and like a thoughtful thing here and there, sure, that's cool. Or something people need is cool.
Yeah.
You know, and you know they won't buy them for themselves. I'm not anti-gift giving, but, yeah, there is always a weird pressure about it that I don't like.
Yeah, so it's been hallmarked to death, I think. This one's plan ahead. I don't know. I mean, that's obviously, like, if you don't feel like you have a plan, it's like anything else. If you don't have a plan to work toward, you don't know when specifically things are happening, other than the actual holiday date. Yeah. You know, I think that one goes without saying. Learning to say no, I think, is the thing that we've said a number of times. And it's really just about not stretching yourself past the point that you're comfortable.
Yeah. And if people don't understand that, then that's not your real family. Yeah. That's what I always say about friends and stuff. If my friends get so offended that I say, no, I don't want to go to the bar, then those aren't my people. Yeah.
One of these we definitely talked about is just taking a breather. Take some time for yourself, regardless of how you have to do it. You know?
I used to do shit like that when I do get into events like past girlfriends, right? You just go walk the dog, you go play with the kids. You know, you find a way out from the adult bullshit.
Some way to clear your mind a little bit. This one fits into what the sort of normal patterns of our show. Don't abandon healthy habits. And I think that I'm person I'm most in tune with about holidays and vacations and stuff like that is Jordan Syatt. He's like, you know, if that's what you want to eat, then eat it for holidays or a special occasion or whatever, and then just get back on track. True, but some people have the trigger, the trip, that if they go crazy one day, then they figure that it's over.
I think the other issue is, I agree with most things too, and obviously he speaks to a super broad audience, so he speaks broadly. But I think the other issue is that bar scene we were talking about, where some people are such social creatures that every weekend they are celebrating someone's birthday. Yeah. So if you have a huge group of friends or an extended group of friends or family, and every weekend's an excuse to celebrate, and now you're slamming cake and beers every single Friday, Saturday, it's going to be really hard to get healthy that way or look the way you want or feel the way you want. Yeah. I'm pretty decent at it now, but I'm very antisocial. So, yeah, I go a little crazy on Thanksgiving and Christmas and then try to rein it in every other day of the year.
People get guilt about it. It's not worth getting guilt about.
No, for sure not. Especially if you can control it to one day. And obviously, you don't want to eat till you're throwing up and freaking absolutely stuff yourself. But it's all right if you have fucking 4 cookies on Christmas.
And if you're the kind of person that experiences the stomach shrinking phenomenon, not everybody does, but where you just can't eat as much because you're not eating as much, then pace yourself through it and don't, you know, you can take a little bit of something without having to take a whole... Yeah. You know,
and even exercising, like I've gone back and forth on it in my own head for my own life and others, like working out before Thanksgiving. Like, you shouldn't feel like you have to, but I don't think it's a terrible habit either. I'll probably do it this year because I know a lot of the kids probably will want to, so I'll probably come in at 8, 9 in the morning on Thanksgiving, grab a session, wish them a Thanksgiving, like we were talking about, like your kind of chosen family is like what we have here, and work out with them, mini celebrate by deadlifting and fucking around, and then I'll go be on a couch and eat cookies all day. But I don't think there's anything wrong with that either. It's just such a weird psychological mix that goes back and forth, right, where like especially in the fitness industry when you're deep in it, but also because it obviously resonates into the pop culture eye where, in 2010, you're unhealthy because you only eat tilapia and broccoli. So now we have to do flexible dieting. But then you take that too far, and now you're tracking your Pop-Tarts and you're eating Pop-Tarts all day. Okay, well, that's not healthy. Okay, well, you don't work out enough. We have to train. We can't work out. We have to train. And if you're not training, you're unhealthy. So you need a program, and you need to train 6 days a week. Well, that's a little obsessive. So now we need to go more an intuitive route with our food and an intuitive route, more holistic approach with our workout, right? There's always these back and forth arguments. Kind of like politics, right? Everything swings one way or the other. This PC era seems to be coming to a halt, and so things are going to turn the other way, and I bet you in 3 years we're going to have some really dark humor coming out, right? Like everything goes that way. Just in fitness, it seems to go like 6 months or a year rather than politics or something huge takes, 6 years. Fashion, 6-7 years, waves. So I don't know your answer for you guys. You got to figure it out on your fucking own, but I don't think it's a bad idea to I think the only bad idea is when you make any example or any excuse to eat cake, because that's what I see the most often, right? Every day is a day to celebrate. Oh, I got done with work. Here's 4 beers. I'm like, well, I don't know if that's worth celebrating.
Yeah, like not every meal needs a dessert.
Right. Yeah.
I think that Lane talks a lot about hyper palatable foods and how the people just zoom in on those and just live there, and obviously those things are if you do them periodically, that not that big a deal. If you're doing them to the exclusion of everything else or just overindulging in them, then it's going to be a problem.
The truth is just self-awareness, because you got to know, are you the guy that can have a handful of chips?
Yeah.
Or are you the guy that cannot?
Yeah.
And some people can. I have a lot of friends. Kyle can. A lot of people can. A lot of people can't.
And you might not be the same person all the time with that either.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, mine goes in seasons for sure.
Yeah.
In the winter, I'm crazy. Just because I think the cold, I just want to eat a lot.
Yeah.
In the summer, a little less so.
Yeah. Right now, I've been losing some weight, and I'm not hungry a lot of the time.
Yeah, that's good. That's a good spot. It feels good when I'm like that.
Literally just not. It's easier right now.
Yeah.
I know that it'll get harder as I go along.
Yeah, it'll be different phases for
sure. Probably the best place to wrap this one up is seek professional help if you need it. And I know a lot of people do at this time of year, and I don't know how people feel in general about the online counseling services and stuff like that, but they are like very much more on demand than you can get in to see someone in person.
Sure. Especially around the holidays, if they're traveling or you're traveling, it's probably weird to see someone. I think even scaling that down to what you're talking about, like a little Facebook group or a group chat or a homie, I think that was maybe even number 1 or 2 points, is like talking about reaching out to people.
Yeah.
Yeah, building your own support system with like-minded humans on any level I think is cool. Right? It's probably not the best if it's just a negative shit talk pity party group chat. But if you got to do that every once in a while, it's probably not the worst thing. Again, like, I don't want to be the moderation, everything in moderation, even moderation, or whatever the fuck the saying is. But, if you're just in a group chat and everyone's just negative as fuck, those probably aren't the homies you need to be around. But if you're positive 360 days a year and you got a group chat that just wants to shit on Christmas together, that could be cool.
Mm-hmm. And as long as you don't expect your friends to be able to fix you, really what you're trying to do is vent. You're trying to get out where you're feeling, and as you're saying, you kind of have to take their temperature on where they are with their shit. And sometimes people can be positive about your things and very negative about their own, and that's yeah,
it's a decent mix.
Yeah, that's its own issue. But the worst. I think the worst of holidays is when you feel entirely alone.
Right.
And so if you can avoid that feeling, it'll be better than not.
Yeah, go adopt a puppy.
Yeah.
That'll keep you occupied.
Seriously. All right. So don't be sad at the holidays if you can avoid it, because I think you can avoid it. Do your best. And if you are sad, don't beat yourself up about it. Just
even our Discord, it's a pretty positive spot, but if you want to go bitch there, you got a group of people that are like-minded, so 50percentfacts.com, join the Discord. It's literally just a group chat. It's free. Feel free to reach out there. I'm in there all day dicking around and chatting, so maybe that'll help some people out there. And that's kind of the idea of this whole gig that we're running. All the content is to hopefully make people feel a little bit more connected rather than pushed out. And that's our holiday episode.
There we go.
Welcome to the holidays. It doesn't really feel like it for me right now, but I think we'll get there. I don't go out enough.
Yeah.
Some little things do remind me of the holidays in a good way. Right? You go to the store and everything's got trees in it. I kind of like that shit. You know what I mean? Just like you go to Macy's and they got a Christmas tree.
Yeah, if you go to Macy's now, I think you can see flashback Toys R Us.
Oh, yeah. I love that. I'm going to go just for that because I kind of like that kind of shit. Or you go to the mall and it feels like Christmas.
Yeah.
You go to the, whatever it might be. I don't really do enough of that, so I don't really hear. Even the grocery store, like I Instacart a lot. But you go to the grocery store, I assume they got Christmas music going on now, if not soon.
Probably soon, yeah.
Little hints like that are good, I feel like. Little holiday spirit, folks. But 3sb.co, new clothing coming just after Thanksgiving, hopefully. Keep you warm for the holidays. Buy your friends gifts, etc. So stay tuned to that. We will be posting about it, obviously. So follow me, Silent Mike, where you want to find me. 3rd Street Barbell, everywhere you want to find us.
I am at the Jim McDonald on all the social media. This show is 50% Facts, where percent is a word and 50 is just numbers. 50% Facts is a Spreaker Prime podcast in association with iHeartMedia on the Obscure Celebrity Network. And we'll talk to you Friday.